Ah, I'm back again. I just feel like, you know what, let me just throw in another one. Another video. Because I don't these days I don't get enough time, to sit down and do videos as I used to. So when I have the time, maybe I must just go for it. And I haven't done a story time in a long time. Today I am inspired to share a story with you. Um, you know, it's like just, in a very light kind of way. You understand? Bringing humor. Um, you know, we must not worry too much about things, So once in a while, I like breaking things down in a kind of like humorous way. I hope you do find me humorous, but I try. So that you can, also learn to take things lightly. You understand? Live a little, laugh a little. You understand? Um, awukhulibale nje kancinci ngestress sakho. So the story time for today, I want to talk about how, as someone who is, let's say you're someone who is about to embark on a journey to accept your calling. uh, there are things you might not be prepared for. You understand? And I want to share my story, Uguti. At some point, too, I was not ready. I was not ready, and it was very obvious. Sometimes it would be so obvious, my mother would have to be involved. You know, to put me into order, call me to order. Ne andibeke endaweni yam in a very embarrassing way, by the way. So at the beginning, this is the story. At the beginning of my training, as I was an initiate, uh, I was employed, um, um, and then from time to time I would, go and be at my healers, my mentors' house for a few days. You understand? Whilst we mhlambi sizobe tibhekile, you understand, sizotyiyeza basically. So most of the weekends, it's either we are at our mentor's home, or we would be with her wherever apho ayosebenza khona as initiates. And then as I grew, I still an initiate, but growing slowly, into the trade of ubunyanga, because already mna ekhaya kukho itasi. So after imvuma kufa and I graduated umdawu, I started getting walk-ins, clients. But at the beginning, I was not used to that. And I think it hadn't dawned on me, Uti. The whole point for, training for Bunyanga was Uti. One day there'll be clients that actually come and, want my assistance. So I came back from Ektwaseni, from Umdawu, esiXhoseni ndingunonguvuma kufa that time. Came back and graduated, obviously, and I thought I would continue with my life and, be merry as I used to be. So I come back. I'm now, remember, I divorced, so I'm back home. I don't live with my husband anymore. In fact, I don't have a husband anymore. So after a few years of a divorce and the very first years of my initiation of my training, I I started ukujola. So there's this guy. Oh, he had been pursuing me for a while. Uputiza, ne? Putiza is quite interested. I made him hang in there for a long time. I think he was pursuing me for like something like 3 years. I like the old Danyana generation Gemnak. Yeah. Yabona la madoda aqinileyo izikondla kondla. Yeah. That's my type. Oldanyana than me. Don't think this hair is, yeah, I'm not that old. There are people that are older. So I like the older people. Older than me. So ubhuti we are still excited, Shem, still honeymoon phase. Siyajola, mnandi. And I'm not used to this because growing up, I was not that kid, that would jump on my fastela, jump on my fence. No, I was not that child. I grew up in boarding school. Um, you know, Yamanans. I went to a Catholic school, very strict school. So I started doing things very late in my life. I'm a late bloomer. So some things I missed out. Like ukuphuma ngefastera uya boyfriend. I never did those things. So imagine now I come back, I'm divorced. Obviously this means I'm in my 30s, my early 30s. And I'm back home. And now if I'm going to sleep out, obviously I can't tell my mother. Like, it seemed wrong. So I would tell a guy to come late, when it's dark. Make sure I cook early, I got them used to having supper around about 6. My mother would be like, I'm not used to having supper while the sun is still up. I would be like, girl, you don't understand. Scat. I'm shy. Obviously, she wouldn't know. She thought I was just, I want to do the dishes, clean everything, and then leave them in peace because Yabone's Lalinimos. She sleeps in the other house. I sleep in a different house. Hey, there's a sheep in the passage. A whole sheep, guys. Maybe it means something, eh? Anyway, so I would then leave them that side, pretending to come to my house now to, rest and be ready for sleep. Abobani's cat, I was 7. That time, my guy would be waiting, by the gate. And then I would leave and then come back early in the morning. Because I was scared of my mom. In my 30s, guys, I was not used to sleeping out. So I didn't want her to know I'm that girl, you understand? But this one day, it was so nice. We had a good time with the guy, and I delayed coming back home. So it's around like 9 in the morning. My mother calls. She's like, Uphi, kukho abantu abazofuna wena apha. I'm like, oh, okay. I was beside myself, My goodness. Abantu, why? But why? It took me a long while to accept that, this is my work and I must be ready for people to come through. And she called me like 3 times maybe, or even more. And she was like, hey, wait, abantu bayafika up. By the time I got home that day, that day was worse. I saw like 3 cars in the yard. I'm like, What the F? I was not used to people queuing for me. But that day, he went too. And, I can't even hide. You understand? This guy had to drop me at the gate. Of course, they don't know who he is. He could be a client who could be coming back from somewhere. That's how I put it to my mother. I was like, no, that was my client. I went to help him. She was like, Naliyeza ebuhlanti mbovasa. I was like, is she being real? She was like, I was there. Mabekiyala. Ukuthi awungena ezindabeni umdaka. Awungena endumbeni umdaka. Naliya iyeza ndikwenzele. Imagine mredeni masixabane. Because I had asked her to plant some in the garden so that when I need, you understand, it's ready. She knew exactly what to mix. Yabo? Faka zonke inqwebe bezilumayo sana when a school party was there. Because I asked her after, when the people had left, what exactly did you put in there? She was like, there were two. Ndifakile pha school party, ndafaka pha umredeni, ndafaka pha inqwebe emhlophe, uyeva? Ndafaka pha bathi ntoni lena? Uchitha ibhunga, uyeva? Zonke ezizilumayo. I'm like, were you trying to kill me, woman? She was like, hayibo, kanti what's wrong? Andithi kuthiwa umuntu onomlaza uvaswa ngeyeza elilumayo. This will teach you. I'm like, so you're punishing me? She was like, you will learn your lesson. Imagine the first consultation. I'm telling you, as I'm talking to the people, hey, Vuma, hey, Vuma, hey, hey. And this is a true story, eh? So I'm telling her afterwards, this is the worst day I've ever, been through in my life. She was like, it will teach you a lesson. And I did learn my lesson. Because guy realized after that, because I'd be like, every time he calls, I'd be like, no, not today, I'm busy. Because every time, I'm thinking, it's okay, if I'm going to go, it means I'm going to come back for mredeni. So we ended up becoming friends, and we still laugh about it even today. He's married now. So we're just good friends. So yeah, guys, that was my story time for today. Just saying to you, you must know what you're getting yourself into. It's not as easy as you think. There's a lot of protocol, and some of the protocol, thank you, guys. That's it for today. Signing out. Thank you. Bye.